Welcome to the J4U Podcast, episode 20. Sorry, this is a very awkward shot of my forehead. We're still setting up right now, but
yeah,
don't mind
we're
that.
doing it live.
Okay, what I have now, I totally forgot where I had stuff. Chat was right there. Yes, there was something else right there. Doesn't matter now. Oh, it's this. Let's go with cool.
Oh.
And then we got that, and then this we can full screen. And cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And then we'll have this queued up next. Cause reasons. Alright.
I'm gonna put this here.
Oh, go for it.
Try to get all of us.
So, thematically, this is a very different podcast from what we normally do.
Oh yeah, like basically this is like a new structure almost, but mainly for just this one.
Well, I would love to start doing more like these, but for right now, yes, this is the one that we have planned for this. And we have buzzers from earlier in the charity live stream.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, I apologize.
No, you don't.
I really don't.
Hey SoundCloud, why don't I think of you? That.
That's kind of unkind.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm actually surprised. You've been doing decently on SoundCloud for me never promoting it and putting only 2 podcasts up there.
Yeah, it was a pretty good amount for the most part. Also, I'm gonna sit up a little bit so I don't look like a small child, even though I kind of am. But like that's not important right now.
This point.
Yeah, that's beside the point. That's beside the point here, guys.
Yeah. So if you're just watching this as the podcast that will actually, I guess, go up right after we're done recording this, and you're not watching the charity live stream live, guess what? This is a part of the charity live stream. Wow! So we have our special guest, Brendan here.
Hello.
Brendan Peterson.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about your channel before we get too far into anything?
Oh, yeah.
Well, at the moment, I've been a channel technically a week or a little bit more. Just at the moment doing vlogs about my boring life, but hey, it's all I got.
You're doing a great job with it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, looking forward. There's a bunch of new stuff coming out. That should be pretty fun. So
that'd be cool.
We'll see how it goes. But I'm not just quite ready to share things just yet.
Oh, I totally get that. You don't know how many things I've planned and then went, so that's never coming out.
Yeah. Let me blab about it online where no one forgets anything and then never do it, and then someone's like, hey, you were supposed to do this.
You did think, but you didn't.
I have a section of the podcast here where we're going to talk about this more, but one question that I just thought of and I don't want to forget to ask. So what goes into making your vlogs? Because I know with me it's a very stupidly complex thing of like, it's almost like the Steven Suptic pre-production where I figure out a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's something elaborate like a Do My Life I have planned that is not at all a Do My Life, or something just like, well, this day I'm doing something interesting, I'll just record that. But then I could not do it any more frequently than weekly. But you put out these awesome vlogs multiple times a week, and I'm like, wow.
Well, I guess last week was easy for me, which was the first week that I did anything. It was 4th of July, and then we also made a trip to like a place I'd never been to here in town before, so that was easy. And then we saw Spider-Man Homecoming, so the entire day we were talking about Spider-Man, like thinking about Spider-Man, dreaming about Spider-Man, you know. Yeah. So I just had a lot of things going on that week. This week, however, has been tough because I'm just at work and doing school, so there's not much going on. So to make my vlogs, it's really, I start shooting in the morning and keep shooting, and then when I get home at the end of the day, I look at all my footage and say, today was boring, delete it all. It's actually funny because in the Spider-Man vlog that I shot, there's a scene of like time-lapse of clouds coming through, and that was 3 days after Spider-Man had come. I'm like, this looks cool, let's throw it in just to show time.
Too well.
We're just giving away the secrets of vlog making.
Yeah.
See, I'm constantly recording like multiple vlogs at once. And like, okay, that footage will go on that video, this footage will go on that video.
Yeah.
Now, if I have a cool time lapse, I'm not just gonna throw that away. I'll find a place for it. I needed something to show like time was passing instead of just a time lapse of us at work. I guess so.
Yeah.
Skies always work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except
like,
when it's just that blue sky.
Yeah, don't make time lapses of blue sky.
Yeah,
unless you know for a fact a bunch of clouds are going to show up within 30 seconds of you starting.
Yeah, like in the horizon, like, alright, they'll show up soon, just like press play, but then like they never show up or something like that.
Yeah,
they
just
go
delete
the other way.
delete
Their
it.
camera shot.
Yeah. No, like, they just like literally like form around the area where the camera is pointing up into the sky.
So we'll get back to this, but what I want to start off is the way I normally always start off the podcast is, how's everybody's week? What did you do this week? Things of that nature. We'll just tell any stories we have. So, Brennan, I'll let you start.
This week, I've done a lot of schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of essays due tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad you're spending the day before that here.
Yeah, you know, I'll be up all night tonight. It's no worries.
You'll be remembered here. So
Yeah. At least you'll have a red Uno card.
Yeah, of course.
there'll always be a red Uno card.
And then I worked a lot. My girlfriend came back to town after being on vacation, so that was fun.
Nice.
We saw Spider-Man again.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's my week's been. It's been a good week.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. My week's been kind of average, and there's been some weird highlights of just strange stuff that's happened. Most of it has just been like editing stuff for J4U Gaming.
And I really appreciate it.
J4U Gaming web channel. Go check it out for you who don't know about it, because it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have a lot of people telling me to do more gaming.
It is like,
but I have a separate channel for gaming.
Yeah, and now like stuff is like coming out more often now, like with
thanks to this guy right here.
Yeah, like Outlast 2 should be already finished by this point, which is why we did Outlast 2. No, the first Outlast we finished, and now we're going into Outlast 2. But yeah, that's mainly doing a really awful English assignment that requires me to read Great Expectations, which, you know, it's a fine book, but they said, like, read it twice. It's like, what? Why? I can read it once. That's 500 pages. And it's like, look, I understand its significance in the form of literature, but, like, that's 500 pages twice, and I can't read, like, I can barely get through, like, a chapter or two a day, because it just feels like it just goes on, but whatever.
I can't even do a chapter a day.
And, one thing I just do a lot of the time, instead of actually doing stuff I probably should be, is, like, watching movies and doing reviews on them. Like I saw a new Planet of the Apes movie, which had a really weird experience, because I technically saw it, but only 2 hours of it, and the reason being was, in the middle of the movie, our theater, the alarm system went off, and so everyone evacuated the theater, and I saw, like, security cars around the theater, and I still have no idea why, like, what happened. If it was like, oh, like, there was, like, danger.
Broke out, you know.
Yeah, it's like, Caesar was planning on, like, regaining humanity again, so, yeah, it's like, alright, guys, I gotta get out of the theater. And so, yeah, like, I could have waited until it was all over and watched it again, but it was, like, 10 p.m. by that point. It's like, I gotta do this tomorrow, so, nah, I'll just go back home. But, yeah.
So, my 2 comments on that are, what I would do in your scenario, because I'm a super slow reader.
Yeah.
Like, if I read a chapter a day, it's a good day.
Yeah.
So I'd read it once and then Spark Notes it once.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing is now I've just resorted to, like, looking up the chapter summaries for each chapter and, like, using that for the questions, which are also kind of, like, really weirdly specific questions. So that's why I'm using that. So, yeah, that's quicker and less time constraining.
I guess it's not that I hate reading. If it's a book I'm into, like Save the Cat, I'll read that.
Right.
Oh, by the way,
if it's something that I have even a little bit of skepticism on, I'll get so impatient after going, alright, I've read half an hour. How far am I in?
Oh, a page and a half.
12.
A page and a half, yeah.
Well, Spark Notes.
Yeah.
And secondly, I like how you both say that you're doing school this week. I did absolutely nothing school-related.
Yeah, whatsoever. Oh, by the way, since we're on the subject of books, I just want to say, I remember Chris recommended me The House of Leaves, and I was bored, and when I was at Bookman's and bought that, and it's really good, and you guys
Chris
should read
is
it.
here with your keys.
Ooh.
So I'll let you go take care of that right now. Now's a great time.
Yeah, I was just going to say House of Leaves is a great book.
Tell him hi from me, and that I love him, and we'll see him later tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, will you?
Will you?
And then do this.
I'll do it.
Oh god.
Can't wait to hear his response.
Yeah. But thank you, Chris, for doing well, I'm not even sure if it was like directly a recommendation to me, but I just remember hearing about it from him. I was like, ooh, that sounds like a cool book. I'll look at it, and I found it was like, oh, it's a pretty neat book. And
speaking of Chris, I almost said Gris.
Chris.
I'm pretty sure that's not actually a name
Well, I mean,
or a human.
I mean, his nickname sometimes like Grizzly, so.
Grizz. That's. See,
Grizz.
that is 100% where I got that one from. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
Wink and
yeah,
wink.
of course, yes.
But since he's not here, I'll kind of talk about him and Emily while Brennan's gone. Just kind of talk about something. So, Chris, he's basically the technical director for our YouTube community as a whole. Like,
yeah.
he was the Just For You Studios technical director for a couple months. About from, I'd say, probably February to June of this year.
Yeah.
He basically took the role of our technical director, which it was amazing to have him as that.
Yeah.
But I've known him for years now.
Yeah.
He's helping Brendan and Emily with their channel, basically acting as a technical director, and I'm like,
yeah.
But I talked with him about it 2 days ago, but he does not want to have his own YouTube channel. He was a part of Tangled Beards with Brendan, which we can ask him about later. But,
Yeah.
Basically, now he's just basically supervising everybody and doesn't have his own channel.
Yeah.
So he's the Kevin Feige of our YouTube community.
Yeah, he basically is Kevin Feige. Oh yeah.
He's maintaining continuity between the channels.
Yeah, just like between like he's like the bridge between all of these channels and such.
So Brendan, you can tell me if you agree with this or not. I was just talking about Chris.
Okay.
And just because he was the Just For You Studios technical director for a couple months, and now I look at him, and even though he doesn't have his own channel, he's like helping out with your channel, Emily's channel, my channel. Like I would compare him to like being a mini Kevin Feige of the YouTube community.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all over the place. He's got his hand in a little bit of everything, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like Chris.
Hand in all the cookie jars, I guess. But yeah, it's like.
But anyway, you guys are doing the school stuff, and I'm over here like, I gotta do about 6 hours of work today on a charity live stream.
Yes. I wish I could do that, but I decided to do honors English.
So I guess
regular.
Oh wait, no,
college.
AP English. Sorry, that's what I meant.
There's a huge difference, by the way.
A huge one.
A great moment of silence right there, right after you said that.
Yeah, just a moment of silence for my mental state. Trying to.
See, we knew.
You fucking people.
Okay. So anyway, guess now it's my turn. I'll talk about my week. I actually started it by flying back from Indianapolis. So.
Well, yeah. How was that?
It was a flight or Indianapolis, because those are two very different answers there.
Both.
So, yeah, the last episode 19 of the J4U Podcast was pre-recorded. Normally we live stream it every Saturday, 3 p.m. But I spent Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Indianapolis. So, was it Wednesday we pre-recorded it, you and I?
I think it was like Wednesday or Monday, actually.
It was a weird podcast.
Yeah, it was basically just you playing Minecraft and us like talking about just like random bullshit.
Because it was just you and me. We didn't have the chaos that we normally do with Raphael.
Yeah, like with Raphael and like the disconnected phone stuff. But like now this time it was just like, so what did you do?
And we didn't have an agenda since it was so early in the week. We had nothing to talk about because we covered it on the last podcast.
Yeah, it was just like, so what do you do like in Minecraft?
But Brendan, before I continue, just so you normally do. Or just so you normally know, with these podcasts, we do it over Discord, and we have basically the same GUI, only where our face cam is now is where whatever we're talking about is, and then those three boxes are the three of our faces.
Yeah. Right. Well, most of the time it's just like our profile pictures.
Yeah, you guys, it's your avatar image. Me is my actual face.
Your face.
And then we do it over Discord, but Raphael's computer currently isn't working, so the past couple podcasts now, he's been using his phone.
Yeah, and it's been just, most of the time it's kind of like been, okay, we can hear it, and then like at some point it just like goes out, it's like, and then like, it'll just be like,
mid-sentence.
We'll hear just like sudden flash of, so it's like, I heard parts of that. What was the sentence? And then we have to have him say it again. It's like, I feel bad for him.
And it's hard not to talk over each other when we don't know if they're talking.
Yeah, like, it's like, I don't know sometimes. It's just like, oh well.
Anyway, but yeah, Indianapolis. For those of you who don't know, I think we talked about it on the last vlog. A group flew me out to Indianapolis, which was awesome. Because I didn't have to pay for the flight or the hotel room or anything.
Man, you're Mr. Professional here, God.
To do a workshop and present a film I made a little over a year ago. So that was a lot of fun, and it was really nice. I don't really think I have many stories. Okay, I guess here's one that was just super weird. I checked into my hotel room, and they gave me the key card, said I was room 808. So I was like, okay, so I went up to the 8th floor, room 808. I went through the key card, it worked. I walked in and was like, okay, great. I had just gotten through, like, over half a day of flying, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a bit of the vlog, which will come out in probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
See, that's how I
take
do
a while.
vlogs.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll just record part of the vlog, and then I'm just gonna sleep, try and maybe eat, get on the normal time schedule.
Yeah, like in Indianapolis, there's like different time zones and stuff.
Beautiful place, by the way. Just the greenery is just
Now it makes me want to go there.
I started vlogging, and like, oh yeah, and partway through the vlog, looking in the viewfinder, the bed behind me I noticed was messed up, so I was like, oh, I guess room service hasn't come through yet. So I kept vlogging, and then I noticed behind the camera was a wine glass on the little entertainment center area, and then a pair of pants on the floor next to it.
Oh no.
And then a belt, and I was like,
oh boy.
Give me a second, guys. So I stopped recording, went to the bathroom, there was all this someone else's bathroom stuff all on the counter. I looked back at the bed, and I noticed that it looked like someone had what your bed looks like when you don't make it, and you just normally walk out. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And there's a purse on the other bed that I don't know how I missed. So God. I was like, what is... And I realized, because there are 2 beds, I was like, maybe to save money, they gave me a roommate or something?
Yeah.
So I went down to the front desk, and I was like, hey, so just out of curiosity, do I have a roommate in my room? Is there anyone else staying with me? And the person gave me the weirdest look, like, let me check. No.
No.
And I was like, oh.
I think
because there's someone else's stuff in there. So they gave me a new room, and I didn't know how to start the vlog back up.
Yeah.
So that was the craziest thing that happened in Indianapolis, other than I didn't realize what I was going to. It was basically a convention. Like, I got there expecting, like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of rooms with workshops like mine. And immediately I walk in, and there's booths just all around.
Yeah, like all over the place?
Oh, okay. So, actually, where I got that pen.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, random fact.
Oh, like this one? Right.
Yep.
Huh, that's cool.
So, anyway, Indianapolis, it was fun, a great experience. And, flight there was great. The flight back, I got delayed over an hour in an airport where the terminal was literally a circle that had 5 gates and 2 restaurants. So I spent about because I got in early because I want to make sure I had like an hour or so just in the terminal in case the first flight got delayed. So I ended up spending almost 4 hours in that tiny little circle.
Oh, man.
I drove myself crazy because again, there's 2 restaurants, 5 terminals, and 5 gates, and the whole terminal is probably smaller than this house. So I was
really?
There were times where I was like, I'm just gonna walk in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. What were the restaurants?
There was an Einstein's Bagel place.
So not really a restaurant.
No.
A
snackery.
Yeah, pretty much. I got a good bagel there.
Yeah.
I like getting bagels there.
A bagelry.
There was basically a Subway for burgers, which was interesting because it's like to where basically they have the 2 buns and are like, what do you want in this? And then just have the different little things of all these miscellaneous items.
That's weird.
But it had, because there's just like 2 places there. The line was so long, I was like, I'm just gonna get a bagel.
Yeah, just get a bagel.
I'll just take a bagel. I don't have a problem with bagels.
There's a bagel. Yeah.
But yeah, so I spent almost 4 hours there.
God.
Got back Sunday night exhausted, and then spent basically my whole time since Getting ready for this charity event.
Which you are currently watching right now.
Unless you're just watching the VOD of the podcast. But still, technically, you are, you know?
Yeah.
You can probably still donate, unless you're watching this 6 months from now.
Yeah, I guess. Good point.
It won't help the stretch goals you'll see later on, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, it's what it is, I guess. So,
what we're going to go to now, basically, is just, I want to do kind of a Q&A.
Okay.
Partially because I'm expecting a few more people, but...
Right.
it's still, since you're basically our special guest here.
Special guest.
I'll be... These buzzers are too much fun, and I am so sorry to those of you watching.
I'm just gonna set
mainly
them
on SoundCloud.
Set them right next
You're
to
just
them.
gonna like, you're just gonna like take them with you. This is like.
Why do I have two?
Because Raphael left.
Yeah.
He was closest to you.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
There we go.
It's been a long day.
It
Yeah.
really has.
Got off work, came right over here, like. Shh.
And then what? You got schoolwork as soon as you're done. Oh, no,
and I have to go back to work.
Schoolwork.
Oh boy.
That's the sound that my soul is making.
It's like, whoops. But yeah.
Anyway, so this, I guess, will be more of a back and forth interview
Okay.
podcast. Not at all like what Philly D did. Now that I think about it. But it'll be fun. So first thing, we're kind of going back to how we started this, just talking about YouTube now, your channel, what you do there. So my first real question I have for you is, why is it that you make videos on YouTube? What is compelling you to make YouTube videos?
I don't think there's one thing, like just one thing. Thinking back on like growing up and everything, one thing that has always stuck with me was movies, and I've always wanted to create something that made other people feel how I do when I see movies. So over the last couple years of not being in college or anything like that, I tried to focus all my time on making short films or making like videos for YouTube, and I realized that I wasn't really achieving my goal. I wasn't living up to my potential. So 2 weeks ago, well, I've been planning it for a long time, and I've been doing things a long time, but never doing anything with it. So I've been shooting a lot of stuff over the last couple months, but not putting it up, not editing, anything like that. And then last week, I grabbed a camera, shot some stuff, turned it into a video, and put it online. And just watching it, and saying, I did this, I finished this, I started with nothing and created something. That's why I do it. I don't care if anyone watches it. It'd be cool if they did. Like, go watch my channel. It'd be cool if they did, but I know my mom has watched my videos, and she lives in a different state, and I don't see her often. Things like that. It's people I know who don't live in the city I live in watch my video and feel like they
live in that part kind of thing.
They're watching my videos like, oh look, you're not just sitting around playing video games. So that's cool. And then like I said, I just want to make people laugh. I want to make people feel something other than just almost typical Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much why I do it.
Yeah, and I totally get that feeling you're talking about being proud about a video you make, because that's one of the best feelings you can have as a content creator, just watching a video and then just kind of going, wow, I made that. Like, the first couple vlogs, I'll still go back and rewatch them if I got nothing going on, just because it gives me that feeling.
Right.
Or some of the crazier videos we did, like epic yoga fails or things of that nature, to where it's like, wow, I did that.
It's also kind of cool to see, like, when you start making them, like, to the point where it's like after you're kind of like at the first one's like, oh, so this is where like humble beginnings, and then you look at this, it's like, oh, now I've improved since then by like doing it more and kind of thing, I guess. It's
funny because looking at the first vlog that I put up and then the third vlog, there's such a I didn't know what I wanted the first two vlogs. I was just shooting crap and putting titles on it and editing and throwing some music. I'm like, here you go, YouTube, eat this. The third one, though, the 4th of July one, I had this whole story worked out of what I was going to like do voiceovers for, and it got too sad. So I just scrapped it all, and I'm going to save it for once I get more of a following, I guess.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I'm just going to keep doing more like, hey, look how pretty this is, or like, you join me on
Cool
this
shots.
adventure kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into the sappy, kind of sad stuff, or the like motivational stuff, I guess that needs to be saved for later when people
like get more
Get
like,
that attachment.
yeah,
And they learn who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that probably the 30 people that have watched my vlogs probably know me and know me pretty well.
You got what, 40-something subscribers now?
Yeah, going from
really?
0, I think I had 2 subscribers before I started putting vlogs up, and they were me on other channels.
Oh yeah.
Because we have the Tangle Beards channel that's no longer, and then my like old account. But going from that to, I think I'm at 45 in a week ain't bad.
That's
wow.
Very good.
That's actually pretty impressive. That's more than I've tried to make in almost a year with my film reviews.
And see, I tried to do a film review the other day, and I rambled for an hour and a half, and put the video into my timeline on Premiere, and was like, this sucks. I gotta watch the movie again because my mind was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta watch Spider-Man again before I do a review on it. I don't trust myself. I still am like afraid that it wasn't as good as I think it is.
To be honest, I haven't recorded my Spider-Man movie review yet,
Mm-hmm.
and that video should be up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to talk with you guys first, because
Yeah.
I want to definitely get some feedback on it, because I have some, it's kind of that double checking thing. Which is always, that's another reason the podcast is so great.
Yeah, because like it's more just like sharing the different opinions on like certain topics and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Which I totally get what you're saying about the rambling. Like, my movie reviews lately have been around the 6 to 12 minute mark. Back in the day, they're like 30 minutes, and even the Let's Talk Movie Spider-Man thing, like, that's normally 12 minutes. I was freaking out when I saw that 44 minutes. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You were also talking about a lot of movies, though.
Yeah.
That's...
Oh, by the way, that's actually like the rambling movies. That was basically my Transformers video I did for my channel.
Oh, but that was great.
Except
that was great.
Except that I the only way I structured it was like, what should I talk about in order? This, that, and like it's not even like specifically scenes. It's just like visual effects.
It was
story.
a hate list, basically.
It was. I mean, yeah, pretty much, yeah, and also just ranting about aspect ratios for like 10 minutes.
We got so much crap for the podcast where we talked about
I kind of felt like there was a guy who was talking about like the podcast who was mentioning like
again, to be
bits.
fair, one of our best subscribers, very interactive in the community.
Yeah.
And just so you know, going into this, about 80% of our following are Uber Transformer fans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So continue.
But like I saw a comment that was like a big list of like we talked about like issues that we talked about that he said like weren't issues, or like
debuffing all of our points
and like
literally an essay. To be honest,
it was an essay.
It was
kind
awesome. I want more comments like that.
Yeah. Like, and I'm actually fine with that, but like the way he phrased it was almost like. Yeah, not that.
Sassy.
Yeah, like
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he like there was, though, to be honest, like I kind of read to like the bottom. Like there's some points like, oh, you see like.
But like we saw different movies.
Like, not that, it was just like it seemed like it got more bitter as we went down. Like was like more just like you're completely wrong on that. It's like. You know what? You could just say like you liked it. That's fine. It's like nobody's right
we all
or
have
wrong.
Different opinions.
Yeah, it's like different opinions, and also the thing was there was a moment that he said that didn't happen, and I found a really shitty like camcorder version of Transformers somewhere online. I looked for the clip that I remembered, and yeah, it still did happen. and I just felt like really obliged to just like do a screen recording clip of that part and just send it to him and be like, look, I'm not making this as bullshit. This actually happened. But I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's just going to make the hate grow. This is going to make the hate grow.
Yeah, again, we all have different opinions, and it was totally fine. And to be fair, I totally get why he was bitter. We rapped on Transformers for a solid 45 minutes in that podcast.
Oh, man.
And he was doing a real-time comment.
Yeah, like on each time.
He like a timestamp of everything. So he was watching it. Pause. Let me add to the comment. Play.
Yeah.
Pause. Let me add to the comment. It was insane. And I give him so much credit. For that.
And I think he said like he stopped over like the 26-minute mark.
He had to stop. He didn't even finish. But but so much credit to him. Like even though we disagree on that.
Yeah. It was
but like with art. no matter what it is, no matter if you think it's bad or whatever, someone's gonna love it. Someone's gonna defend it because that's their thing. That's what makes them happy. So I can dog on movies all day, but if someone's gonna come at me and say this is why you shouldn't, maybe I'll reconsider what I feel about it. But
and also just being
if
able
you want to come at me, I hate the Transformers movies. The first one's okay, it's watchable, but after the first one.
And also, think about the first one. Take out all the Michael Bay sexual innuendos and bad jokes. It would be a great
Oh yeah, no. If Michael Bay wasn't touching these movies, they'd probably be good. It bleeds over into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. It's just ruining my childhood.
It's funny he didn't even direct it, but still feels like you could kind of feel like
he had a heavy hand on
it. Fingerprints.
He was sitting there hitting like save on like the After Effects and the script writing, like just keep that penis joke in there. Like,
basically. Oh god.
I feel bad for that director in some sense, just because I just always wonder, like, if he went in like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing pitch, blah 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 blah. Studio's like, yeah, we'll hire him. By the way, producer's Michael Bay. Michael Bay comes in and is like, no, that's garbage. Your name actually gonna do.
Your name's gonna be on it, but I'm doing everything. You just sit and get your paycheck.
Get your damn paycheck and be happy with it.
I'd do it.
Well, I mean, like, you get the money to be able to do other things, so yeah.
Yeah. So, Luke, going back to that question I asked, why is it that you make YouTube videos?
Well, main thing is like, I remember like something kind of similar to what Brendan was talking about with like movies and how they make people feel. I kind of want to express like my own opinions on films in a way, because like I watch a lot, maybe too many films. Yeah, probably, but
not a thing.
Okay.
They're out there to be watched. Watch them.
Yeah, like
That's a very good mindset.
If they film it, you will watch.
Yeah. I feel like there are some limitations, like to some weird.
Father's Day.
I was thinking more like really disturbing Italian 80s horror films, but yeah, sure, Father's Day. But like, yeah, like I just like to share like my opinion on like film and like filmmaking, because like that's what I want to do and that type of thing. But like also just like I don't do it with like a very flashy style, but I just do it with like the basic instinct of just I write my thoughts on the film not as just like a it sucked or it's the best thing ever. I just go in it with like a level head in mind of just like I think the way that they did it was great, and I try not to have like a big bias towards it, even if I might like.
How's that gonna work with Blade Runner?
Shut up. Okay. Look, that's kind of like one of those things. Was like I'll try not to have a bias with it, because it's even though it's fucking Blade Runner, goddamn, but like. I'll still try to put in as much of like alright, still look at this through a technical and like, you know, storytelling point of view, seeing how like, you know, everything works in together, or if it doesn't at all. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I do that, and also just because I like editing. I like it a lot. And also
I am very glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Being that you are my editor, that you enjoy editing.
Yeah, and also like one thing I've been doing recently, which I haven't really posted as public on my channel, which is I did like weird experimental short film stuff. Like I did one probably like a couple weeks ago or a month ago, which was I remember you said like it was like stuff that you did was kind of like just film some stuff and kind of make something out of it. Well, that was essentially what I did. I just went around my neighborhoods like, well, that I could make a cool shot out of that, do that, and I got to the point where it's like I had all this footage. It's like I just tried to make something out of it and find a theme. Like while looking through the footage, I was like, oh, cool! I found a theme and made a little thing out of it. It doesn't have any dialogue or really any story, but it's a thing. So
yeah, it's great practice.
Yeah, it's like
that's what I tell my buddy who wants to try to get into vlogs, who has never done any video work or editing or anything like that. I just said, go out and shoot some random crap. Yeah. Shoot some stuff with your face, like talk to your phone or to your camera or whatever, and just edit it. You don't have to put it online. You don't have to do anything with it. Just do it to do it.
Yeah, just like practice.
Get comfortable.
Yes.
I am still not comfortable in front of a camera, but I'm gonna do it because I need to.
I'm not comfortable in front of a camera sometimes, but not because, well, and not because like I get scared by the camera, but just I look back of the foot's like, God, it look ugly. Yeah.
I hear you.
Audio's good. Fine.
Yeah.
Go. Which is why I do podcasts.
But there's a camera on this one, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like. I feel attacked.
Hey, SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, yeah. I feel it. Well, at least
when I show people, it'll be the SoundCloud. Like, check this out. Check this out.
You know.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah, just like it's just like I like to think like SoundCloud people's like, what are you talking about? Like, what does he mean like looking like at the camera? And then like there's like for the longest time it's like, what does he mean? And then like they find the YouTube channel like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay, there we go.
Just like, oh,
that's weird. That's what they mean by camera.
No, I totally get that. So yeah, I was gonna say something with that. I totally forgot, but yeah, I guess it's my turn to talk. So
yeah, do it.
Are you gonna question yourself?
Talk about stuff.
So I've been on YouTube. We're almost at 5 years. This month we're going to be approaching our 5-year anniversary. Which
holy crap! Oh yeah.
This may not be our both 2,000 subscriber special and 5-year. Don't know. I'll figure it out when we hit our 5-year. If I feel up to doing a video, I'll do it. If not, I'll say no. The charity live stream was it. Just go back and watch that. That was special. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So
winning confetti.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's up there, right? It's up there.
No, I like to think it's like he just takes the this footage, but just like puts in like a chroma keys like confetti coming out of the ceiling.
Oh,
I could rip up some paper and just put it on top of the fan blade.
Yeah, and then just like spin around and be like, whoa, look at that confetti.
You think I actually edit the podcast? There's a reason we do it live. This used to take me 2 weeks to edit.
Yeah, cause like, yeah, I remember that actually.
That was horrible.
I have glitter on me. What is going on in this room?
Maybe there is
well,
confetti.
you see, that we don't have confetti,
but we have glitter.
Hey, if it works, it works, I guess.
So anyway, I've been doing YouTube for a very long time, I guess, in terms of YouTube years. Like, definitely not as long as many other people, but I started getting into the game kind of when it was kind of at the peak of being cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But
it's not cool anymore.
Yeah, no, of course not, never.
Lame kid.
Obviously, that's why so many advertisers are pulling out.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so I started doing YouTube not really knowing why. Just like I had a friend who was like, hey, make videos. And I was like, okay. So I did. They were horrible. It was literally...
I've seen your first video.
Yeah.
I haven't went back that far.
Yeah.
And you were tiny.
The videos after that are worse, too. That one I was like, take number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got videos worse. The first Minecraft Let's Play I did, which for some reason is still the longest running series I have ever done.
Oh, God.
50 episodes of literally just me pointing a camera at my big 2-foot thick TV while I played Minecraft on the Xbox, and basically every 10 minutes, start record, stop record, start record, stop record, 50 parts of that.
Oh man.
There were episodes where the camera wasn't even looking at the whole TV. It got like a shot of where you see half the TV and half the wall. But that was, again, like what you're saying, just do it.
Yeah.
So, because I learned a lot, and I didn't really figure out why I wanted to make YouTube videos and why I was making YouTube videos until, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 ago, when I read this comment that was saying, hey, this video was super funny, and thank you. I really needed this. I had a pretty bad day today, and your video helped brighten that day. And that's when I realized why I wanted to make YouTube videos. For that reason. For the person out there who's having a bad day and just needs something to distract them and make them forget about it. Whether it's for 3 minutes, whether it's for an hour, just something to make them forget about whatever happened that day and just laugh and smile. So that's what I try and have that mindset in every video we do. Is just, will this help brighten someone's day? Will this make them laugh or make them smile or make them just simply just forget?
Yeah, just to like live in a different moment for a while rather than their own.
Yeah, so, and as soon as I started adopting that policy, I started putting more thoughts into what I do on YouTube. Because again, before, there was a time where I did daily. And it was brutal. And it was literally just me. By that point, I had a screen capturing software. But even then, I didn't edit the videos because, of course, no time to do that.
Yeah.
So literally, file, new recording, playing Minecraft for 10 minutes, and in the video, you see me go, okay, goodbye, pause, and then file, stop record. In the video. Didn't cut
Really?
that out. I have,
Oh,
again,
my
that was
God.
when I was doing daily.
Yeah, just do it. Doing
See,
daily? Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
on the Tango Beards channel, we did. Oh god, it was. I don't even want to talk about it really. But we
Oh.
did 3 videos in 3 weeks, and we were doing short films. Like, the first one we shot in 1 day, edited, put up online. Second one, we wrote a script. We did not have a script for the first one. Wrote a partial script for the second one.
Yeah.
And then went and shot stuff. Came back, shot some more stuff. Came back and edited, put it online. And the third one, we wrote a script. 2 days later, Pokemon Go came out. Made a Pokemon Go video. Edited the crap out of it. Put it online. And at the end of that, we looked back and first video sucks. Second video is okay. Third video is awesome. I have no ideas. We're done.
We're done.
Well, let me just say, Pokemon Go Rehab, fantastic.
Yeah, that was a
Thanks.
great one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
also, how long did it take to do Stuck in Small Spaces?
We shot that for 6 hours, maybe
Okay.
less, and then edited for an hour.
Mhm.
And the video is way too long, and it's way stupid, but it was fun.
So, having seen your guys' house, I definitely get
Mhm.
why you guys made it. Because I remember even when Chris was looking at the house, that was one of the first things I believe he mentioned at some point was that little
Yeah, the crawl space.
Oh.
That thing was creepy. I still won't go in it. I think some of the props we used in that video are still in there.
Oh,
but
really?
They can just live there.
Yeah,
It's
you
fine.
know, they've been there long enough. They might
Right.
Like, what props were they?
There was like boxes and stuff that he threw
Okay.
around, and a book or two.
R2D2?
R2D2.
Oh.
Wow.
Which actually we pulled that out. It's on the bookshelf in the game room. So,
Okay.
Oh,
you know,
cool.
it's there. It's around.
I like to imagine, like, it's just Toy Story, but except there's a box and a book. It's like, we gotta get out the crawl space.
But they can't.
But
they
they
can't get out.
Oh, God. It's like the Shawshank Redemption then instead of Toy Story. So it's like, ooh, that's depressing. Oh, God.
And another thing I kind of want to talk about, since I don't know how many viewers we've gotten over the course of the stream who aren't normally viewers here. So one thing I wanted to talk about that I was thinking about all throughout the week is just to kind of make it clear, like, a lot of what I do on YouTube isn't me, and Chris knows this better than anyone, with the help he's done on the channel, that in person I'm a lot more of that kind of, you know, quiet, I am very thoughtful and thinking about what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. Then as soon as you hit record, it's like, hey guys, Nick here from Dusty Studios, and it's all animated and all over the place.
I can vouch for that, considering
I
what
can
happened.
too in the short times we've hung out.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that statement, Nick, because of what we did during Outlast 2, involving falling on the floor and a lot of stuff like
That was
like
horrible.
this,
That
falling on
was
the floor.
horrible. But podcast is
Yeah.
probably the only series where I'm still exaggerated, but it's not as exaggerated as I normally am.
Yeah, it's like a bit subdued exaggeration, I guess.
Polar opposite, probably things like Freaky Friday or the weekly
Yeah.
show.
Oh yeah, the weekly show, yeah.
Which I should say, weekly show prior called the Friday show because it went up on Fridays, will no longer be on Fridays because Freaky Friday is going to be moved from J4U Gaming to the main channel so that we
Yeah.
get more people watching it because it wasn't getting a lot of traffic. Thanks to you, though, it actually has been, so I
Oh,
might
really?
reconsider, but I think
Oh.
the plan is right now Party Plays and Freaky Friday will be the two gaming series that we have on the main channel. Everything else goes to J4U Gaming.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the shows that were on Friday, like Transcrafters, what do we have on there? Bean Boozled, Cards Against Humanity, Computer Time, Noob Cooking. Those will be in the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday slot, which is also nice because then I don't have to worry about getting it out on a particular day. I got 3 chances. I can make that work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like 3 things you could work with, and if like one doesn't work, it's like I just go back to the other one I did
Yeah.
because it worked.
So
But yeah.
See, with my channel, I don't have a schedule yet, so I'm like, yeah, just I don't need one a day. It's cool.
You know,
And then I regret it instantly.
in all honesty, that was actually what my film.
you had a schedule fairly early on.
I had a schedule for a while because it was like I'm just gonna keep this structured, and then after a while, it's like I could just post anytime in a week.
As long as I get 2 up in a week, like
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
I feel better.
they could
Yeah.
be Saturday, Sunday. They could be Monday, Friday. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, as long as there's 2. Like
Yeah, yeah. Like
Now you just kind of
Yeah.
started. So have you cheated yet? And like
I had 3.
one that came out on a Sunday where it could be kind of either or. It's
Oh,
like-
totally. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week I had 3.
Ooh.
I had the first one, the vlog with friends one, which I don't know if it's gonna be a series because it really depends because all my friends are pretty much vlogging now. Yeah. And then I did the vlog by myself where I talked about what I want to do and why I'm doing a vlog and everything like that. And then I had the 4th of July one, and then so that's 3 in 1 week. Yeah. And then this week I used the footage from last week of Spider-Man. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna put a review up tomorrow. I mean tomorrow. And now here we are Saturday. I'm like,
tomorrow.
I got an essay to do tonight, and it's due tomorrow at 9. So
that kind of trumps it just a little bit there.
Yeah, maybe I'll just count this as my 2 for the week.
There you go.
This is it instead, guys. Yeah. Suck it up.
Yeah, maybe just have like a video like, hey, go check out this video instead.
And I'm shooting stuff today. Just at the moment, I'm not. Mm-hmm. I don't want to take away from the stuff on your channel too much.
He's been shooting stuff all day too.
Before your channel, yeah. I like I said, I don't want to take away from your channel. Speaking of which, where's my phone? Let me shoot some stuff. I seriously lost my phone.
Oh gosh.
Didn't you put it with the grill box somewhere?
Oh wait, no, that's not it. I was gonna say.
Or did you take it out for Chris?
It's not a problem. Let's continue.
Yeah, I guess going.
Yeah.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah.
Unless Chris don't. Okay.
I found it.
Nice.
We have a dust storm warning right now.
Cool.
Oh. Gotta be careful out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very dusty out. Drive safe.
This is me trying to drive a car in a dust storm. There you go. Yeah.
I love that sound.
Yeah, just like also.
It's so out of place with the other ones. Just
yeah.
Like,
also, I have a question. What would a dust storm be like when it's raining?
A mud storm?
A mud storm.
Thank you. We have the same exact thing. Like
mud. Yeah. It would just be like a That would be disgusting though.
Yeah. But in regards to talking about schedule, the schedule we have on this channel is movies are on Sunday, whether that's movie review or Let's Talk Movies. The vlog is on Monday. Then now it will be the weekly show, Freaky Friday, and then the podcast.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, by the way, one thing I might talk about schedule-wise, for anyone who enjoyed me doing those streams of playing Ocarina of Time, that might come back because my controller's actually working again this time. Yeah. So I might do that. I mean, if people want it, but to be honest,
doing a lot of streams here.
Yeah, like I've done a couple. Like I did Super Mario 64 emulator, and then like a Ocarina of Time emulator, and then I just did like SNES games for a while, and then there was one that was just like playing Action 52 and it was awful, so it was like, let's not do something like that again for a while. Let's make it like a milestone thing, because I was literally playing like a mini game that just looped for like almost what seemed like an hour, and so I just decided to play like the Spider-Man 2 game pizza theme while doing it to make me seem less insane and failing at doing that, because it's the fucking Spider-Man 2 video game pizza theme, and it's stupid. So yeah, and sorry if I rambled there, but that was just for people who like those like Zelda and Mario 64 and older game stuff that might be coming back.
Yeah, because one of your Zelda streams did very well with 60 people in that 40-minute live stream.
Yeah, it was a 40-minute like stream, and yeah, there was like a lot of people showing up for that one, which was cool, because like that was like actually a game I really enjoyed playing, and I might I have other games that I plan on in the future, mostly in October, but I won't tell them what it is yet.
We've been talking about that, because I might or might not be taking a mini leave on the channel in October.
Yeah.
But I'll figure that out
later. Some stuff to replace Freaky Friday with, that's all I'll say.
Yep. So, there'll still be horror on J4U Gaming.
Yeah, okay, it'll still be a horror thing, but like, older horror.
So, now I think we're about ready to move on to the main bits of the podcast, starting with the great one, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, jeez.
So, Brandon, I'll let you start with this. Your thoughts?
My thoughts? Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Has been forever, almost. Mom, don't say it was Batman, because even I know it wasn't Batman. I really enjoyed the first 2 Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire, like Spider-Man 1 and 2. Looking back on it, though, I rewatched the original trilogy and Amazing Spider-Man 1 before we saw Homecoming, we couldn't get an Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is perfectly fine in my book.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But watching the second Spider-Man movie again, I realized how many problems I had with it. And watching it right before Homecoming made me like Homecoming better.
Okay.
And then seeing Homecoming second time, I loved it. I don't want to take away from it. I really enjoyed it. I had problems. There's a lot of problems with that movie. But I think the non-problem aspects, like the areas that aren't problems, outweigh the problem areas.
I get you.
Yeah.
I truly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely get that, because I agree there was quite a few problems with it, but there were some things that when it did it right, it did it right.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead, before we get too far into it, I'm going to put the spoiler tag up, so we can go to town and talk about spoilers. But
Oh boy.
yeah.
I'll spoil the crap out of it. I'll treat it like it's my baby and I just won $1 million.
Spoiler, man. That's just what it's gonna be now.
So go ahead, Luke. What did you think of it?
I really loved it. I'll give like kind of a quick recap on my thoughts on the original films. First, Spider-Man is probably my favorite, mainly just because like it still has the superhero aesthetic and is very cheesy, but I love some of that cheese. And I kind of also have the same thing like you were talking about with Spider-Man 2. Is like it's a good movie, but like some aspects of it feel like they don't work. Like there were some moments where like there was really obvious humor that they're trying to go for that just like felt really awkward and kind of crappy. And in all honesty, like Spider-Man 3 isn't an horrendous movie. It just has kind of a garbage story.
So many problems.
Yeah, like it has a lot of problems, but I wouldn't say like I kind of like it in a guilty pleasure way, I guess. It's like it's not a good movie, but I just like it for like some aspects, except for fucking Eddie Brock, because no.
Please be good.
Sorry, Topher Grace.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man, decent. I enjoyed it, but it kind of felt a bit bare bones in some aspects. And Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a freaking garbage disaster fire mess.
See, I think it had a couple scenes that are probably the best Spider-Man scenes, but other than that, the movie's trash.
Well, my problem with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is it felt like they crammed 3 movies worth of stuff into one.
Just like
so
Spider-Man 3.
So there's so many side plots going on.
Yeah, but my main thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming was I really enjoyed it. I'd say Tom Holland, I don't know if he's my favorite Spider-Man, but like I really enjoyed him a lot, and I just kind of loved like this was the first one where I actually felt like the conflicts with him in the high school and all of that, whereas it kind of like other movies like they had it, but it wasn't really like it didn't actually feel like that, maybe except for Spider-Man 2 a little bit, but this one I really felt that, and I really enjoyed like the side characters and friends that he had, and also just the fact that it had comedic moments, but it didn't really like
it wasn't too much.
Yeah, it didn't like ruin like the dramatic moments of the film when they happened, so it just like it was able to be a balance in both regards. And yeah, it has some problems. Like I'd say Michael Keaton's character doesn't really get all that much screen time to really like develop as like a really intimidating villain. More just like getting the idea of like he's just like a normal guy that had to do these things, but still not enough to be like I still want him to fight Spider-Man or whatever. And I like the action sequences, but like the one near the end with Vulture, like the way it was kind of edited together was really weird and kind of confusing at points. But overall,
in regards to like the ship with the
the ship,
that was a little weird to me.
Yeah, like it just felt like kind of awkward and clunky in the way that they added that scene.
And visually, it was a little jarring.
Yeah, that too.
My takeaway from that scene.
Yeah, but overall, I absolutely loved it, and I had a lot of friends who were kind of like, even me as well, that were saying like we were kind of afraid that it'll just be Iron Man but with Spider-Man, but actually it wasn't. It was kind of more like a high school comedy mixed in with like actual superhero aspects that work together rather than like against. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
Which I thought was great, because looking back at The Amazing Spider-Man, I felt that was probably their weakest part.
Yeah.
Was they tried to give the high school part some life, but a lot of times it just didn't land. But Homecoming, I thought, landed perfectly in regards of showing his life as a normal teenager in high school and a superhero, for crying out loud. Like, I thought that was probably the aspect they did the best.
Yeah, definitely. Also, one thing I just want to mention, because it made me laugh, I thought it was really funny who they cast as Flash, because I saw a movie that also had him in it. It was like Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
And he's like the most awkward, quiet person ever. And so watching him as bully is like I couldn't buy it because like I could only imagine just that.
I thought Tony Revolori was like kind of almost perfect in the modern bully role.
Oh yeah,
and what
I
they
guess like
wanted
yeah.
Flash to be.
Yeah, because I've been out of high school for too long. And I was bullied in high school. Like, don't need to get into that. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's a-holes everywhere. It's life, you know.
Assholes are everywhere.
And the way he was bullying Peter in the movie was just almost like, it's like, this guy's like a spoiled brat. Like, that's all I could think of. And then it turns out he is. And I get what you're saying though, where he was this awkward kid in Grand Budapest, but I've always thought he was a good actor, and seeing him do that, like, it's such a stark difference between the two, and that's what's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't more as like I thought the performance was just like I thought it was really funny thinking back. Like he was that shy kid in Grand Budapest, and now he's like this asshole.
Yeah,
it was just really funny to think about.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and I definitely thought that was an interesting take. I did not expect it at all. I expected to see Jock Flash.
Right, and I'm glad we did it.
I'll beat you up, Parker. And that it was a kind of a fresh take, which I thought was like, I saw it and was like, oh.
What we got this time around was Penis Parker.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they made that funny. That's such a lamest. Like, that's so lame. But every time it happened, I'm like, ha, ha, ha.
Like I guess it's like kind of things like when you think about it from like a high school standpoint, like I guess it would be kind of like a funny quip or whatever. It's like more like Penis Parker.
Yeah, but he says it like 40% of his dialogue is Penis
Parker. Penis Parker, yeah. It was just like God. But I think like he did a good job in that regard, and also that made me laugh a lot of times, unironically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me kind of start with some of the cons I had with the movie.
Yeah.
The first one was something I didn't realize I appreciated about like the Sam Raimi films, and even a little bit in the Amazing Spider-Man film, was the scale and the scope. It felt all very personal with Peter, and we never left New York, and it was always very much so like, it was true, but like he was the superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would be nice, but it wasn't quite as nice as I expected it to be, having him in that universe with Iron Man and Captain America. Iron Man wasn't in it as much as I was afraid he was going to be. I thought he was just the perfect amount.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it was kind of weird going like, oh, Happy's a big character now.
Yeah.
Okay, now. And just like all the different things with the MCU, I wasn't expecting it as much to be this kind of big presence of, he is in this universe that we have seen aliens, and we have seen a robot that tried taking over the world and destroying it. Like, there's so many bigger things, and then Spider-Man, welcome!
Yeah.
And just kind of him being dropped in this universe. It felt a little weird to me, because obviously Marvel didn't have the rights at the time, but Spider-Man not being a part of all this big stuff that happens, just to be dropped in and trying to tell that small story in a universe that's just so big.
Yeah. I get that. I kind of like the fact that it's more in the middle, mainly just because it kind of feels like again like the Avengers are like the big main focus, whereas Spider-Man's like the little one. It kind of almost feels like they like a overlapping story, whereas like they just come in the middle of like something already happening, like where Spider-Man is like becoming Spider-Man, and Tony's like, who's this fucking kid? And it's like, and it's kind of cool because like you know already what the stuff with like Uncle Ben and all that stuff is by that point.
Oh, I'm so glad that they didn't have that in.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought what they did though was perfect.
Yes.
Where all he says is, "Oh, you got bit by a like what is it,
Yeah.
Ned?" Like, "Oh, you got bit by a spider. That's what did it." Yep. Continue.
Yeah.
And then
we
the
saved
line,
at least half an hour.
right? Or maybe an hour. Like, look
That-
at
2
Amazing
lines.
Spider-Man. When I watched it the other day before the movie, I looked up at the screen. I said, "Uncle Ben's still alive." Like,
Yeah.
this movie's been on for an hour and a half already. It's only a 2-hour movie. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh God, it's like we know what it is that's gonna happen. It's just like, can we like kind of speed it up a little bit?
That was one of the best choices they made.
And all they said about Uncle Ben was all the stuff that has been going on with Aunt May
Exactly.
lately.
Which
And
that
I was like,
perfect. That was enough.
thank you. That's all I need. That's
Yeah.
all anyone needs.
Yeah.
We've seen this origin story. It's still less than Batman's, but still enough to know it. Like,
Yeah. I also kind of like the way that Spider-Man is a presence in MCU is kind of like, again, like I said, smaller, but like he's becoming more than that, and so
yeah, and I'm glad he's small. I liked seeing him as that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, and like this was one of the films that like it's an MCU, like a cinematic universe, where this was like one of the few times it really did feel like a universe, because like Iron Man's like doing his own thing, whereas like Spider-Man's doing like his own, having his own character arc and like advancing through his own story, whereas like maybe the same thing is happening with Captain America and other stuff while this is happening. Like, who knows?
I really liked the Captain America bit though.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
And Hannibal Buress is just like, I'm
Hannibal
pretty sure
Buress,
he's a war criminal now, but they pay me to show you this.
Yeah,
and that part is that makes it everything feel more real than I think Tony Stark being in it.
Yeah,
because we already have like Tony Stark. What's his name? His dad's name. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh, Tony Stark's name?
Tony Stark's dad.
Oh, it's Tony Stark's dad.
But his picture's on the mural in the high school.
Yeah.
Like, done. You're good.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
And then Bruce Banner's picture shows up in the trailer and stuff like that. Like, little things like that more so than big things.
I agree completely.
I agree though. Like Tony Stark was in it just the right amount. Those trailers really made it feel like he was gonna be
gonna
like,
be all
when
of
it's
it.
a 2-minute trailer and Tony Stark's in a minute of it.
A minute and 50 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was in it a good amount, and I think this is the best like Robert Downey Jr. has done in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
He felt like a real person and not
just
Tony Stark.
like, just like Money Man, Tony Stark.
Yeah. And it's because he sees a lot of himself in Peter, and that was amazing.
Because, again, Tony Stark, I think of the MCU, there's so many little things they've done with his character that they just forgot about. Like, they put it in one movie, like, oh yeah, we'll set up for this. Then halfway through the other, they're like, wait, what did we say?
Yeah, what was it?
Oh, no, scrap that. No,
let's go on to some... he doesn't have PTSD anymore.
Yeah. But, like, little things like that, just with Tony Stark's character that, with Civil War, I was like, no, I'm Team Cap. His character just is a little too all over the place for me. Yeah. But I thought the conflict in this film was perfect.
Yeah, like, it was very condensed and not, like, like some of the other films where it just seems like, oh, this, that, and all that. And just, like, being very unfocused in what his character is. But yeah, like, that worked very well. Also, there's one thing I kind of want to mention, and it's kind of a small thing since we were talking about Iron Man not actually being in it as much, but I really like some of the cameos in it. Like you talked about Hannibal Buress and Donald Glover and a few other people.
Donald Glover was so great.
Yeah, and he was in it for just like small amount, but he was so great though, and I loved that bit. But yeah, and yeah, like and again, like having like some little cameos like that, like it kind of almost felt like it was like a convergence of like the real world and like MCU in a way, where it's like, hey, I know that. Well, I guess mainly just with like Donald Glover's character, because it kind of reminded me a little bit of Atlanta, the series that he's doing.
Right.
And yeah, it just I don't know, it made me smile and laugh when I saw that.
We're still on issues. Are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm kind of lost to where we're at right now. Some of my biggest issues with the movie though come from the suit. Because they just turned Spider-Man into Iron Man.
That was my biggest problem.
There's parts of the suit that I love.
Yeah.
I thought Karen was funny. And added to a lot. But Spider-Man doesn't have to do anything with that suit. He doesn't have to remember people. He doesn't have to remember his how to do certain web things. Like in the comics, he gets all these special webs like bombs and nets, and he can make skis and a boat. And this suit can do that, but he had to do it before.
Yeah, that was the thing. It felt like a really weird jump to like Spider-Man's in the universe, and let's age him 20 years in what he can do and his evolution. It's like Kevin Feige just gave him 20 rare candies and just like go evolve.
You have 17,000 web combinations. You can like. I do love the web wings though. That's
cool.
As a fan of the comics, that was huge.
Yeah.
But my biggest complaint comes from the suit. Yeah. I think he doesn't have to learn anything.
Yeah. Well, actually, like, I get what you're saying with that for like the ending, but I like it. I liked it where it's like when they hacked the suit and then he fucked everything up, and now like Tony Stark's like, if you can't have the suit, then. What was the line? I don't remember exactly, but the one about like the suit doesn't
the
define
new
you.
Uncle
If-
Ben cool, basically.
If you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it.
Yeah, and then him using kind of like I remember.
I
think-
love his homemade suit.
Yeah,
I think
the
it's
homemade-
awesome.
Oh yes,
Yeah, it
I
looks
totally. In the trailers, I was unsure. Seeing it in the
Mhm.
actual film, I was like, that looks awesome.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping like maybe like he'd give him the suit back. It's like, can I have all those cool powers back? It's like, no. It's like you'll learn soon enough, but I am not doing that again.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I was like, oh well.
And yeah, kind of continuing on with that, I thought this film amazing first act.
Uh-huh.
Like, I thought that was one of the best first acts we've seen in a Spider-Man film, mainly because the past couple have been origin stories.
Yeah.
So
And-
it was refreshing to see just friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Dude, that part where the guy's like breaking into the car and he
Yeah.
just webs his face down into the. And he's like, "This is my car, dude." I can't.
Yeah.
I just died. I was
Yeah, that was
both
great.
times.
Hilarious.
Both times I forgot it was coming up. The second time,
Yeah.
cried.
Yeah.
Cried laughing.
Yeah, that was a pretty great
The
scene.
second act is where they kind of lost me with that whole thing of
Mhm.
all the tech and like. Also, as soon as they left New York, something felt weird to me. So that, and then just the suit talking and all the extra abilities. I get why they did story wise, but it felt
But-
rushed.
Yeah, I just like the way they
Uh,
putting it in there. It just kind of felt like an afterthought, I guess.
Yeah. But Act 3, as soon as we found out that Michael Keaton reveal, I was
Oh
on
god,
board again,
yeah.
and I was like, okay.
The first time watching the movie, I loved that twist.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, like, I'm not sure if I.
Does it not age well?
They've done it in every Spider-Man
Oh,
movie
yeah.
where the villain turns out to be someone close to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Why? It's
Dads of Peter Parker's friends are
not friends.
they
They're
don't
not.
have a good
Get
shot.
away from them.
I mean, you had
okay.
Green Goblin, you had Emma Stone's dad who died.
Yeah,
You now have the Vulture. It's like, don't be a dad and know Peter
It's-
Parker.
Yeah.
and it's always someone that he knows
Don't
though.
be dead.
Like, and I get the universe is kind of, or the city's kind of small,
Small world. New
but
York.
it's New York.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I
Yeah.
guess it's like
Um,
the whole like responsibility. Don't talk to your people you like's fathers.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the second time seeing it, it didn't hold up to me.
Okay.
I
But-
getcha.
The scene in the car,
Cool.
Oh god.
where when
Yes.
when they let Liz out of the car and he pulls up that pistol and just lays it down,
Mhm.
that part redeems that whole thing.
Yeah.
It just 100%
Yeah, it
makes the
cancels
movie
it
better.
out.
Yeah.
Also, seeing Michael Keaton figure it out.
Oh,
is
yeah.
So cool. You
It's
can
the
see
smartest-
It in his eyes and
And it's almost like he doesn't know, but he almost knows, and then he just has to say something, and Peter gives it away.
Yeah.
And I think that was cool. It wasn't. Oh, there's, there.
The drop of blood.
The drop of blood, or your hands. Well, it was his hand, right? I
yeah,
think that
he
was.
cut the hand. And
Yeah,
then saw the
like how they find things like that. Like this shows how smart
Michael Keaton.
Toombs was, and it shows how dumb his daughter is for just blabbing. If she would have just shut up,
Yeah.
it would have been okay.
Yeah.
She's over there on her phone doing her Twitters and Instagrams and everything.
Yeah.
But that whole couple minutes in the car feels like it takes years to get through
Yeah. Just
because
how, like,
you're
God,
sweating. You're
It's
on
like-
the edge of your seat.
It's like
Like,
shit.
is he gonna shoot him in front of all these people? Obviously not.
Yeah. Like.
But we gotta have that terrible last fight scene. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, like also like one thing about Michael Keaton's character that I thought was really cool is like a lot of Marvel villains have been they've been very forgettable in the fact that they are just like, I want you kill world. That is
Yeah.
evil plan.
Marvel's now had a terrific track record.
and all the
recent
villains
years.
in the previous Spider-Man movies though are dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that they did not kill him off.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like,
As
Oh,
soon as
he's
they didn't
dead
kill
now.
him,
Yeah, because that's what they
I
always
cheered. As soon as they didn't kill him.
do. Yeah. I just like the fact that like of all the villains, he was just like just some kind of worker dude who was like,
Blue collar.
yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
a blue collar dude who's like, I got screwed over for my job, and this is the only way I know how to
I
make
can
money.
support my family.
Yeah, just support
It was
family.
It was a really
Fast and Furious
interesting
7.
villain,
Mhm.
and I would love to see Marvel continue with villains like this in the future.
I still wish there was more for him though. He
Yeah.
wasn't there
Oh, yeah.
enough. And leave like that whole beginning part where it explains why he's doing it. Cool, but
Totally
I don't.
off.
But it went 1 to 100 in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Immediately he's Vulture. Where's the in between?
Yeah.
I agree.
Just a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah, just some.
It could have been like, oh, you see them going to rob a truck and they get like stopped, and they get thrown in jail for a night or whatever. And then the next shot is the tinkerer like, I can do this. Do you want me to do this? And he's like, sure. And then the next thing is them testing it real quick, crashes. Let me fix that, and then boom, dropping down with the cases like they did. Just add two little things right there. Show, because I really just don't feel like there was enough of the Vulture. Yeah. Give me origin stories for villains we've never seen.
Yeah.
For anyone we've never seen.
Spider-Man origin story.
We didn't see Spider-Man's. I did like that first opening part though, with seeing Civil War from Peter's perspective.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was awesome.
By Peter Parker.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
Alright, so any other notes on not Peter Parker, on Spider-Man Homecoming?
The end fight scene is terrible, and there was not enough of it.
It was really just that beach thing. That was the only real
the whole
fight.
Any action scene in there, too close. Bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Pull the camera out. Yeah. Let us see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because everything's too close. That whole end fight on the top of the plane is way too dark. Can't see anything.
Yeah, you can barely
it was just jarring.
Just had bad edits and.
The best part, like a part in the movie that I will always love, is when he's underneath all the rubble.
Oh
and he's crying out for help. Just a tear fell from my eye because I'm like, this is a child crying for help, and no one's coming to help him. Somebody get in there. And I remember, like, I saw it with Emily the first, like, well, I saw it with everyone, but Emily was sitting next to me the first time, and me and her were both like, did they just go this dark? Because I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah.
I know he's not
gonna.
Yeah,
that's how they get Miles Morales in there.
Yeah, right. They just kill him in the first one.
Yeah.
But no, that part, and then the Ferris Bueller part was great until they showed the clip of Ferris Bueller. Didn't need to do that.
Yeah,
but still good. But still good.
Yeah. I kind of like there was like other like just references to 80s kind of high schoolish films, like, but not like in the way that like the Ferris Bueller one was like, get it? Like, like there was one where like he was going to...
Did you see what we did there?
Yeah, clever, aren't we? But like there was one where like he was going to talk to Aunt May, but he did like a... He was in the kitchen, but did like a slide as like, oh, that's like risky business.
Right.
But instead of, just being like, hey, isn't this like risky business?
Yeah.
Wow.
And his references to old movies in that makes the reference he makes in Civil War worse.
Yeah.
Because he's like, remember that really old movie? And then he's got a ton of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
He knows it's.
He knows it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that was.
Remember the old movie?
That was a really odd joke.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. The last two kind of comments I had were, one, that MJ thing at the end felt a little weird.
I have a theory with that.
Okay.
I think Michelle's character is great. She adds a lot of comedy. I love that part when they go into the homecoming dance and she like waves halfway and then flips him off. Like that is hilarious.
Yeah.
But when she's like, my friends call me MJ. For one, she has no friends. She even says at the beginning she has no friends.
It felt like a weird throwaway.
I think she's trying to be cool. And then next year there's gonna be a girl who comes to school and her name's gonna be Mary Jane, but she goes by MJ and she's like, actually my friends aren't calling me MJ anymore. Like just something stupid like that. And that's what I'm hoping. Because she can be MJ. But she can't be Mary Jane.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe she'll be called MJ, but then there'll be a Mary Jane, and there's a whole confusion.
Yeah, like a joke about it. It's like, well, who is it? Yeah.
I did like her character, though.
Yeah.
Hated Liz Allen. Like, who is she? Is she smart? Is she a popular cheerleader? Is every guy wanting to be her? Because there was, like, mix of everything thrown into one, but nothing concrete.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just basically kind of like, it almost felt like just more of a concept rather than a character. It was like
we knew exactly who Michelle was. She was she was trying to be rebellious, trying to be a dick,
and also followed Peter around a lot.
And she fell in love with him in the last 10 seconds of the movie. I don't know if anyone else saw that.
But like, no, did you notice like for the entire movie she was like stalking him? Yeah, it was like.
And she says like, "Oh, I'm not stalking him. I'm just observing." I'm like, "No, you're falling in love," and that's the only reason the MJ thing kind of concerns me. Because you see the look in her face when he gets up to leave, and I'm like, oh no, she loves him.
Yeah, and like, I still can't believe Marvel, when they announced Zendaya would be in the movie, everyone's like, oh, she's gonna be Mary Jane, she's MJ. And Marvel's like, no. 2 years they have kept this a secret for that one line.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it was
I didn't
line
even know
that
her
they
character's
immediately
name.
dismissed because Ned said, "But you have no friends." They immediately dismissed a secret that they've been keeping for 2 years.
Yeah, it's just like it just kind of seemed like a throwaway thing.
Yeah,
because I didn't even know what her character's name was until I saw the movie.
Yeah,
I think it might have said Michelle on IMDb, but
I didn't.
I don't even think that was true.
Yeah.
So they kept her name a secret for so long, but why? I'm on the same page as you. Why?
Yeah, it's like kind of a why thing.
Her character's awesome. Keep her around for one more movie or so, but don't make her replace Mary Jane because she can't. And please don't skip over the fact that Gwen Stacy is Spider-Man and Peter Parker's first love.
I would have been more okay.
Maybe it'll be something
if,
like that.
Liz was supposed to be Gwen Stacy,
but Liz Allen is in the comics.
Yes, she is.
So that's cool, and she's one of the first ones.
But are they gonna ever touch her again?
Probably not. And especially Peter will. Peter will never touch her again.
Yes.
Hey, that is a very funny and true statement.
But I want them to stay a little bit true. Don't change names completely.
No.
I don't care if Zendaya was to play Mary Jane. That cool.
Yeah.
Why not? Just do it. Don't half-ass it. Just do it.
Exactly. Yes.
So that's
like we still haven't seen Harry either.
No, and I love Ned's character. Yeah. I think that's great. But we also have to keep in mind that they're still sophomores in high school. They still got two more. They still got 2 3/4 of the school year because this all takes place before homecoming.
Yeah.
So there's still almost 3 years of time. So they can still introduce Harry, and what they're talking about is the next 2 movies are the next 2 years of high school. Yep. So you have junior and then senior year. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to talk about then is a Siri I heard, which normally I don't bring these kind of things up, but one that I read online was Tony Stark moving out of the Avengers Tower. What if that becomes the new Oscorp?
I saw that too.
Yeah.
And I think that would be just the best way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Just do it. Yes. Don't think about it.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, think about it for 5 seconds and then just say, cool, do it. Yeah, and then every movie from now on that's set in New York, that's Oscorp.
Yes.
Just do it. That's it. That introduces Harry and Norman to New York.
Done. Don't have to explain how the skyscraper is different.
Yeah.
It's a new building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it already looks like it could be. I could definitely see it.
It could be any tower. Once they take the A off there, you're good.
Oscorp, done. Awesome.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
I hope they do that.
Okay, so it's going to suck as we continue with the last 3 things. Since it is getting a little late in the podcast, we're going to start with the stretch goals.
Oh boy.
Red Chaos, what an amazing time, let me just say that. Because one of those is a merch giveaway to somebody in the chat, and you're the only person chatting right now.
Did it. Nailed it.
So
you
go ahead. If you type "do it for the kids" in the chat, I'll get in touch with you and we'll get you some merch. It'll probably be either a t-shirt or a sticker, because in all honesty, the sticker looks dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The purple one with the full logo, I
sure.
really like that one. And then the "just do it for the kids" shirt, I really like. Those are my 2 favorite things aside from the mug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
do it for the kids.
Clearly, Red Chaos could not be any easier. Type "do it for the kids" in the chat.
Merch.
And we'll
if you don't, I'm gonna.
Yeah, just hop on your phone.
Hey, I'll do it.
Yeah.
If nobody else will. He did it when nobody else would.
So anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So as we talk about the next one, it's gonna suck. I might get some drinks to wash it down. Yeah. Oh, I hate it so much. The last Bean Boozled videos I did, I had other people do it.
Yeah, you were smart.
Because I'd already done my time. I did 2 Bean Boozled videos before that and hated myself.
Yeah. All right.
This guy, I can't believe you in Bean Boozled.
Yeah.
I hope you get a bad one. I hope I get a good one.
Yeah.
Then that's gonna be karma and it's gonna be reversed. But whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe so I have a garbage taste in food. Who knows?
We each get at least 1 spin. So we'll start off with 1. If we go like, well, that was weak. That's not worth what we do. We'll do some more spins. But
okay.
I'll start.
Don't make me hate you.
I don't wanna. I'd love it if we all got lime.
Lime? Oh yeah.
Are these different than normal?
It's the ones that have coconut and.
Oh, I hate the coconut one too, though.
And what was the other?
Spoiled
milk. Those are it's the newer one. So yeah. Yeah, check that out. Anyway, so I'm gonna spin mine and then we'll spin. I'm not gonna have mine until I have a drink ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna spin it just so I can get that anticipation going. Please don't be canned dog food. That's like my biggest request.
Don't jinx yourself.
Okay. Ooh, I can live with that. Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks.
All right.
So Luke, go ahead and spin while I try and find what that is.
Yep.
I want to save this one.
I got caramel corn or moldy cheese.
Ooh, okay.
So let me see.
Use this and then pass the spinner.
There you go. And now
I'm
you.
nervous about this. Damn, I hit my thumb.
What'd you get?
Of course, coconut or spoiled milk.
Okay, welcome to the podcast.
I think it might be this one actually. Well, like what's weird? It has like a bright yellow one and a darker orange that says for this one's moldy cheese and butter popcorn. So I feel like I
got lime and lawn clippings.
Isn't that great? The order they came in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys can take it now. You can wait. Doesn't matter. But go ahead. Start talking about War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, I just saw this last night.
I'm gonna take the spoiler tag down, so don't talk about spoilers.
Okay. Will you put it up, or should I just keep it spoiler free?
Keep it spoiler free.
Okay. Well, that's good because like I actually don't know how it ends yet because I didn't see the rest of the film.
I'm doing this now.
Doing it now? Go for it. Because I also need to use the restroom. But go ahead and keep talking.
Yep.
What'd you get, by the way?
What'd you get?
Spoiled milk.
You alright? You alright, sir?
Alright, I'll be right back.
Alright.
Keep on talking.
Alright, so.
Oh,
first,
man.
Are you alright? Do you need to spit it out?
Nope, I'm gonna be a trooper.
Alright, you ready for. Okay, so.
If you need to spit it out, you can, by the way.
I'm doing it, man.
Where's the trash can? You alright?
We're good. No, we're good. Keep going. Keep talking.
Alright, so. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Alright, so. I'm gonna do mine, and I'm gonna talk about War for the Planet of the Apes while Brendan possibly pukes. I don't know. Let's hope not.
This is a conundrum.
Yeah, boy.
It's all stuck in my teeth.
You know what I just realized on maybe why, like, I did this before, but, like, for every single one, like, it didn't taste bad, so I was like, no, it's fine, or whatever, and I wasn't sure why, and I just remembered, like, most of these, like, these things are, like, based around, like, smell, like, once you bit into it, and I just remembered, I have the worst fucking sense of smell ever, because, literally, like, one time at my house, like, I was cooking chicken or whatever, and, like, it burnt, like, a little bit. I didn't even realize it was burnt. I had it, and then my mom came back home and was like, is something, like, burning in here? Oh, my God, it smells awful. It was like,
it keeps landing on spoiled milk.
I was like, it's fine with me. But, yeah. Anyways, let's talk about War for the Planet of the Apes, which I saw last night. Well, 2 hours of. Which was fantastic. I'd say it might be my... Would it be my favorite of the Planet of the Apes films? Yeah, I'd say it's my favorite of the trilogy. But, like, the thing is, it actually works really well as a trilogy, because, like, so, like, the virus that happens in the first... You alright?
It tastes like grass.
Grass. But, like, the virus that's established in the first film that actually takes place in the second film, where you see, like, a good amount of humanity's, like, wow, humanity's kind of in a shitty place. Now it's at the point where it's, like, all of humanity is gone except for the insane people that, like, Woody Harrelson's character run a weird military group of people to just, like, let's kill all apes because that sounds like a great idea. And so, yeah. And the thing that makes it great is because, like, it's the darkest of all of the Planet of the Apes films. Like, it's PG-13, but, like, there's some kind of messed up stuff that happens in it. But the way they do it doesn't feel, like, forced. It actually, you know... It feels natural, and like the emotion of the scene actually works in those moments, if you will. But yeah, like I never really felt forced, and like those effects are really, really good, and just has amazing cinematography and lighting, and it doesn't really even feel like a blockbuster film. More, it's kind of like something you get like later in the year, in November, where it's just like a brooding kind of like natural epic kind of film. But yeah, like. It's great. I'd recommend it a whole lot. there are issues I do have. Like, there are a number of moments in the film that I would say are kind of like trying to be either sentimental or very emotional or bring up some specific like strong emotion, but are like incredibly forced and like painfully forced, and they just don't really seem to work all the time. Mm-hmm. But like the times that they do work, they're like, goddamn. But yeah, like, it's a great movie. But if you're wanting to see like a fun blockbuster, don't, because this movie will depress the shit out of you. Like, there's stuff that happens in this movie that's like, yeah, it's PG-13, but it doesn't. It really shouldn't be in terms of like how emotionally intense what happens in this film is like.
Okay. By the way, tutti frutti, and it is very chewy.
I got lawn clippings the second time.
Okay.
Trying to find. I'm eating.
Are you still looking for the
coconut or spoiled milk?
You're on the second one?
Yeah, I'm doing.
I'm gonna do another one.
I'll do another one as well. Still waiting in the chat for a do it for the kids.
Let's see if I can do this. Nope.
What'd you get?
Lime or lawn clippings.
Woo, you lucky dog.
Is that blue? That's blue. This one's green, yeah?
But yeah, War of the Planet of the Apes is fucking sweet.
Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for it. I'm seeing it this coming week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's great because, you know how like,
There's lawn clippings again.
God damn it.
I mean, to be fair, green and blue doesn't matter.
Do you want to do one? Do you want to go a few rounds, Nick?
Yeah, I'll do another.
Like, I want to know what the lime tastes like now. That's
yeah. Lime is good.
Like,
you get lime, you're lucky.
The thing I really...
Please be good.
Yeah. The one thing I actually really like about the new Planet... These films as is like a... Oh, did you get the good one?
Yeah, continue. Sorry.
I was gonna say, the thing I really love about the Planet of the Apes reboot is, like, as a trilogy, is that it doesn't feel as if, like, first film is like, it's that one thing, and then the next 3 films are just like a retread of that same thing. It more feels like an act... Slime. Great. It feels more like a progression. Like, the first film was kind of like, it was not necessarily like brooding or bleak, but it still kind of had like a bit of an intensity to it, and was able to kind of like it was like a starting off point. Like, it had some issues, but like it was kind of like a beginning. Where a second film was more like an apocalyptic. Was it bad? Gonna go one more, but like, second one was more apocalyptic and very bleak and had like big like stakes at hand, and now this one is just like the Logan of Planet of the Apes films. But
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, well, you say it is, but then like you get to points like ape crucifixion, and you like, oh god, this is making me feel like weird emotions for apes now, because fuck, that's messed up.
I need something to change here.
You need to think.
By the way, Brendan, for your vlog, feel free. This will go public, all 3 parts on YouTube, so you can download different things if you want to use them and all that. So totally use whatever you want.
I got blue, sweet.
Lucky you are getting the best colors.
Yes.
But yeah, I highly recommend War for the Planet of the Apes. It's probably one of my favorites of the year. If it just some points did like emotional scenes a bit better, then I would say it's like masterpiece. But whatever. It has really nice cinematography, and that's one thing that most of the time is like, I'm okay with that, which is why I'm excited for Blade Runner, because I fucking love Roger Deakins.
So any other thoughts on Planet of the Apes? I know I missed most of it, but I'll talk about it next week when we can do some more spoilery stuff.
I'll recommend it to you like this. It's like Apocalypse Now and The Revenant made into a Planet of the Apes film. I guess Ape Apocalypse Now, if you will.
I love the first 2 in the series a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think they're some of the character development in these movies, not only from humans but from the like Caesar and the apes.
Oh god,
is so much better than any movie that's come out in a long time.
Yeah, like in blockbuster standards, like the character development is much better. Which I think you will love this one because it goes with that aspect all the way.
I really kind of hate that a lot of people I know don't appreciate these movies like I do.
Yeah.
So I have to tell them they're my guilty pleasure movies, but
really?
they're such good films.
They are
fantastic.
Like, I really like the first one, and it feels like when the keeping everything spoiler free in case there's anyone who hasn't seen this movie, go see it.
Yeah,
now, like the first one, and then the second one,
and then
go through. I haven't seen the third one yet. It'll happen.
Yeah.
But just the emotional like distress that every character feels in the first movie, amazing. I think it's some of the best stuff. And then the second one, the action scenes and the rise of evil is so present in that film. It's amazing. And I always think of that shot on the tank where the camera's on the tank and it's spinning with the
gorilla, or not the gorilla, the ape. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
there's so much good about those movies that when I heard this movie being announced right after seeing Dawn, I was like, take my money now.
Yeah. I'm concerned what they're gonna do next though afterwards.
Yeah. See, I've actually been told how it ends, so I feel like they basically have to do like a different storyline or something now at this point, because it's just gone too far in. It just have to follow like either a different character or just like the same thing but through a different perspective. But yeah, it's just like, it's
my theory here is, because to be honest, this was basically a reboot for the old Planet of the Apes movies, but they did it right by not making it a total reboot.
Yeah.
Having these be 3 prequels. But now I feel they've gained enough of an audience to where if the next step they did want to do a reboot, they probably have the support from the fan base who know it would be good.
And they just need to keep the same team working on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same visuals, and Andy Serkis needs to be there.
Oh, Andy Serkis! Oh God, that's one thing I wanted to say is like, people make jokes about Andy Serkis will probably never get an Oscar because like his motion capture or whatever. He's so good. But I also thought about it. But there is an Oscar-nominated performance that did use a good amount of motion capture. I don't know if anybody even remembers this movie, but it was The Curious Case for Benjamin Button.
Yep.
Yeah, that technically used motion capture in a way, like, not even to the extent that this movie went, where it was like the actors were actually on the set. But yeah, like that got nominated for like an Oscar, so I kind of feel it's just like maybe just Oscars fucking have a hate boner for Andy Serkis.
Yeah, but he's so good.
Yeah, he is.
It's insane.
It is really good, and also there's other characters in this one that are just as good, like performance-wise. Like there's a character that's kind of like a comic relief character, but he never ruins it because you kind of get like a sense of just like he is kind of the silly way just because of how shitty like the things people like human beings have been doing to him, to the point where it's like it's funny, but then like you kind of think about it to yourself and your subconscious like that's kind of fucked up, right?
Yeah, I get that.
But
what time do you need to be out here, by the way?
30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Well, then.
I was worried about time. I just want to make sure then. So, let's see, what is next on the agenda? Any other thoughts? Planet of the Apes.
Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, so
I haven't either. So
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it again so I can actually watch the ending
Yeah.
and not get interrupted by the alarm. But whatever.
So this one comes out this week, so this one is purely anticipation and thoughts.
Yeah.
Dunkirk.
Oh yeah, Dunkirk.
So-
No expectations, not hyped really just yet. I can't base the trailers have shown to me like really nothing, which is good and bad.
Yes.
There's a trailer that shows a good like portion of stuff, but I'm still just too confused to be excited. And you know, I don't know anything, so I gotta wait. I have one friend on Facebook that lives down in California, and whatever he says about movies, I typically agree with. So I'm gonna wait till he sees it and then make my decision.
There you go.
Yeah.
So.
Also, they're doing like 70mm screening stuff for that, like the 35mm IMAX and all that stuff. And that's actually the one I'm gonna go see, and I also got a ticket with you for Thursday.
Which, who knows, might be part of a vlog.
Yeah.
It's like crazy that we just finished uploading Volume 1, and I gotta be recording-wise at least halfway through Volume 2 already.
Yeah.
Like, you love to comment about enjoy your break, and I'm like, it's a break from uploading. I'm still...
Yeah.
I'm still working. But yeah, I'm very excited for it, mainly just because like I've heard some of the early press, and like a lot of people that I've been hearing it from, also just like from directors on Twitter, but just like critics in general, have been saying like stuff like basically a new like all-time great kind of film situation. And again, like, one thing Nick says about, like, films about getting hyped up is always to keep your expectations kind of in check and not just to the point is like, oh, I'm so excited, which, unfortunately, I'm a Blade Runner, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
I can't wait for that podcast.
Yeah, it'll either be, like, me losing my mind at how good it is, or me just shit-talking it like I did Transformers, or maybe just being, like, depressed and underwhelmed. Who knows? One of those three. But Dunkirk I'm really excited for because I saw, like, a lot of, like, featurette videos on it and, like, the way they filmed it. And one thing I just love about Christopher Nolan, because, like, I love the way he does practical effects instead of, like, adding, like, oh, it would be easy to add CGI here, but, like, he does, like, scenes where it's like, oh, the planes are flying above head, like, the ships and tankers and all that, but he actually films it where they are flying overhead instead of just, like, just putting computer effect. And it's cool because, like, it makes, like, he said, like, it makes the performances even better because, like, you get a sense of, like, oh, shit, this feels like it's actually happening because, well, it is in a way. Yeah. And also just some of the shots that I've seen, like, one thing that I think can create great tension is just the way that you can create a shot. Like, I saw a couple of, like, just quick cutaway shots that they showed in the trailer. It's like, just looking at it for, like, a split second, I was like, no. Just, like, like, there's one where there's this guy who's trying to swim, and he looks like he's about to be crushed between a dock and a ship. And it's like, shit, he's gotta get out of there now. Move. And, yeah, it's like, it makes me, like, just excited to see, like, how tense it will be. And just in general, just think Christopher, like, there's a lot of people who say, like, Christopher Nolan kind of is overrated, and it's like, yeah, I know. But, like, I really disagree on that, mainly just because, like, I don't think I could really think of any other director who does, like, films of this type of scale that don't, like, you know, go for the easy route or do something.
Don't pull Michael Bay.
Yeah, don't pull Michael Bay, or either that or just do kind of, like, basically the bare minimum, whereas he goes all out on his films.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, and also one thing that I've heard about that actually I'm really excited for is I love Christopher Nolan films, but one problem I feel is that his dialogue feels more just like exposition dumps at times. Whereas I've heard this film is, like, they said, like, it barely has any dialogue in it. It's more just, like, action in it. It's just, like, the action rather than the dialogue itself, which I thought for Christopher Nolan's, like, that's a good change of pace.
Yeah, it could be a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, it could be either way.
See.
Yeah. Though, again,
It's
since
interesting.
I feel like it will work since, like, a war film doesn't really need a lot of dialogue to, like, push the action. It's like, oh shit, they're gonna die. That's all really the kind of exposition you need.
Which was something I enjoyed about Baby Driver, was there's a lack of dialogue, but it really helped. It made every word the characters did say so much more meaningful.
Yeah, and stand out.
My feelings on this film, I'm a sucker for Christopher Nolan, so I'm going to see this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
In 70 millimeter.
Yeah, I love Christopher Nolan, so that's where I...
Yeah.
I like Christopher Nolan in small doses.
I getcha.
I think the Dark Knight series did a good job of making people who don't like superhero movies like superhero movies.
Yeah.
It did set the bar too high for a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I still can't really watch I can't watch Batman Begins most of the time, or The Dark Knight Rises. Like, I think The Dark Knight is a great film. I think they're all really good, but with me, Nolan, I like his film. I like his movies that aren't Batman a lot. But everyone knows him because of Batman.
Yeah, like it's his most popular.
Like, it was the first thing that came up on that trailer, really. The director of the Dark Knight trilogy.
And that's why people are gonna go see this movie, and that makes me sad.
Yeah,
I get that,
because he is a great director. You, like I said, you see what he did with that series, but everyone needs to kind of
move away just from.
He can do more.
People who aren't hardcore into movies need to move on from that.
Yeah.
I really like, not just with this movie, but with any movie, when the trailer has to tell you that someone did this movie and that's why you should see this movie,
I agree.
Knock that crap off.
Yeah.
They do it with Disney does it with every single Pixar movie that comes out, and it pisses me off. You know, a Pixar movie.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it no matter what, even if it's crap like Cars 2.
Yeah.
You're still gonna kind of love it.
Yeah, you're still gonna like kind of love it for whatever reason. But yeah, it's like you don't need to tell us like it's from these people made this movie you absolutely love.
Yeah.
But
and that's why I think I'm kind of like taken aback with Dunkirk. It's like
I get you.
You had to force it down my throat. that you made these movies and this movie, thinking I don't know.
Yeah.
How dare you? Like,
and like
but,
they have even like for Dunkirk, I've seen the like 10-second trailer, little teasers.
Yeah, like those.
And it's still in there.
And they still put it in there.
Yeah. Also,
just show me the movie.
Yeah.
Most people aren't gonna give a crap of who made what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show me a good-looking clip from a movie, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Show me half a scene.
Yeah.
If it looks good, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, like, looks like if it looks like a good movie, then like I'm gonna see it because it looks like a good movie.
Put Christopher Nolan's name at the end. Put whoever's name at the end.
But
If I know that name, I'm gonna even be more excited. Like seeing the trailer for Baby Driver the first time and then seeing Edgar Wright do it.
I was like,
Edgar Wright's my favorite director. I'm going. Like
Yeah.
the movie looked cool, and then seeing Edgar Wright did it, 100% going.
Yeah, like now that's kind of like guaranteed. But you didn't need like the from the director.
Oh, I did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and Scott Pilgrim and like all the movies you love.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
because I know his name.
Yeah, I remember there was like it's actually funny you mentioned stuff like that when you mentioned Pixar because they basically did that for the Inside Out trailer.
They do it for everything.
Every
right?
single trailer.
But like the Inside Out was literally just clips from all the other movies.
Yeah.
And, like 5 seconds of like, oh, it's Inside Out also. So.
Yeah.
But
we gave all these things emotions. Now we're gonna give emotions.
Emotions. Give your emotions. But yeah, like I'm excited for Dunkirk, and also I feel like with that, they probably still would do that, but I would like it more if it was just like instead of the Dark Knight trilogy, just like the director of Memento is like, I know who that guy is.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
see, I'm not a fan of Memento at all.
Oh, really?
Because a lot of Nolan's movies have been way overhyped by people who don't understand movies like I do.
I get you. Yeah.
So they're like, this movie's awesome. I'm like, was it though?
Yeah.
Did you really watch it?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I really watched it. I'm like, did you realize this, this, and this? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, I did, and that's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's so
I
awesome.
respect that.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
but you told me it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And then I saw it, and it wasn't so awesome. So now it sucks even more than it should. Probably.
Yeah, like
See,
it's
I
it's
had
kinda,
no expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, okay.
I kind of feel like with that, it's like instead of like people just say, "Oh, it's awesome," give them like reasons why it's awesome, like, "Oh, the character development is good," or like the way it's made as a film is good, instead of just "It's cool, I like it."
Yeah. I argue way too much about movies, and my girlfriend gets after me about it because I get pissed when people aren't listening to me. Like let's not get into like Wonder Woman and everything like that.
Is it not?
What I'm hearing is I need to get you on more movie-related shows here.
Maybe,
on the channel.
because I will make some enemies.
Yeah.
Especially with DC movies.
Okay.
Even I will talk bad about if you do a Spider-Man like in depth, like let's talk for 4 hours, like. Oh god, I will break that thing down.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
But yeah.
Ooh.
By the way, also I think I was talking to you about this before, but we don't have it on here. But there was something I want to talk about because I saw before the Planet of the Apes trailer. Movie. There was a trailer for a new Guillermo del Toro film that looks really cool, but the thing is, the trailer is shown in theaters, but it hasn't come up online yet, like at all, like even on YouTube.
When was the last movie he made? Like, what was it? I don't remember
Crimson
anything.
Peak.
What is that? Is it
Exactly.
good?
I saw
Was
the
it
trailer
good?
for it, and I wasn't
I don't know.
interested.
I didn't see it.
I wasn't.
But he made Pacific Rim, and
I've still never seen that.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, never. Like,
Oh.
I'm like, oh, like,
basically,
whatever.
like it's. I'd say best way to watch it is just like think of it like there's people who are like this film is fantastic, and I watch it as like it's fun, but it's not like intelligent filmmaking or whatever.
I was gonna say I liked it, but that's because I took it for what it is.
Yeah, it's like a silly like.
Well, see, when I
robot
saw
fights.
like
Well,
Real
and-
Steel, do you know what movie I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
Real Steel.
I had a blast at that because
Yes.
I went in saying this is gonna be Rock'em Sock'em Robots with Wolverine playing controller,
Yes.
and
Was
that's
it?
what it was.
Great. Yeah.
So I'm fine.
So imagine that only the Rock'em Sock'ems have swords and are the size of a building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and they're
like-
fighting.
I think I
basically
tried to watch it.
Godzilla.
I tried to watch it one time and then just fell asleep or
Yeah.
something.
I also need to see Pan's Labyrinth because I heard that's like a masterpiece or something.
I've tried.
Oh really?
Not for me.
Okay,
Ah,
I haven't
okay.
seen it yet either.
But yeah, like the trailer for this one,
Like
I actually,
can't think of anything that Del Toro's done that I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just
Like, I'm not even that big of a fan of his films, but like this one kind of was interesting to me. Like it was basically what the plot is like is it's like in the 60s in America, and there's this woman who works as a janitor at this weird like scientific like lab area where they do like weird experiments and stuff. and she comes across one of the experiments, which I can only describe as basically just Abe from Hellboy, like the fish man. But, like, she's mute, and she finds that she can actually, like, talk to him through sign language because he knows sign language and can't talk because he's a fish. And so...
because he's a fish.
Because he is a fish.
That was the best use I think we've had all day with that.
But yeah, like, it kind of reminds me of, did you hear about a movie called A Cure for Wellness?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been meaning to watch it. I still haven't.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it looks like the aesthetic of Cure for Wellness made into, like, a weird love story with, like, a weird creature monster and the mute lady. And it actually looks really nice. I actually like it for some, like, I saw the trailer, like, yep, that warmed my heart.
Okay.
But, I don't know, like, it actually looks really cool. I'd be willing to see it. Also, it's got Michael Shannon, so I'm automatically seeing that, so, yeah. And, also, I guess I might do, like, a short review of Cure for Wellness since we brought that up.
I haven't seen it yet.
It looks amazing, but the story is a garbage mess,
Yeah.
but it looks cool, and that's all I need.
And, freaking Green Goblin's in it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's all you should need.
But it wasn't good Green Goblin, though.
No.
I would have been like first day if it was Willem Dafoe instead of Dane DeHaan. I would have been like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, boy, that would be great.
What's DeHaan doing right now?
I don't know.
Raking in his Spider-Man money. That's what he's doing.
Not doing.
It just sucks. Like, he was so good in, what was it, Chronicle?
Chronicle. Yeah.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah, that was.
And then to go immediately, like, well, not immediately, but like
Pretty soon after.
Spider-Man, and you do this
Spider-Man.
terrible Green Goblin where
Yeah.
your hair's falling out and your ears get pointy overnight for no reason.
Yeah, and you're back.
You need the magic blood.
Yeah, it basically just was like magic blood.
Spider blood.
Spider blood.
Yeah, that was not his best work.
No,
No.
not really. No.
I'm doing no
Was it
voice.
anyone's best work on that? Maybe the costuming. They had a pretty good job there.
Effects were alright, I guess. But yeah, it was like,
Toothpaste again.
stupid. But yeah, yeah, it's the.
I like how that's just a stop. You hear that and then just freeze.
Silence. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go.
It's pretty
It's a
great.
chorus.
We had a great chorus on Outlast.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
There was like a we found like what's it? What would you call it? A gospel song?
Kind of a hymn that we set to modern, like, our own beatbox pop sing when we
Yeah.
were reading it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
he was the rapper and part of the chorus.
yeah, we basically did a rap of a gospel that we found in Alice 2.
I was the Brandon Urie.
Okay.
God damn it, yeah, basically. Yeah, that was a weird experience there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, what else is there to talk about?
This one, I don't know if any of you are too into it, but Game of Thrones comes back real soon. Now, I don't have HBO, but I wish I did to watch it.
I've watched the first 4 episodes 4 times and can't get past them.
Really?
I just cannot get into it. And it really sucks because like, my girlfriend is, I think, binge watching the season she hasn't seen yet because I think the new one starts tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yes, it's tomorrow.
That's
Tomorrow
funny
night.
because like, basically my entire family is like into that like to the extreme, and I'm just sitting here like I'm just watching Twin Peaks. Okay, guys.
Yeah, no, like I said, I've tried 4 times, 4 different times. Like, given like a couple months in between,
Yeah.
maybe even a year or 2,
Yeah, just
and
like,
watch
let
the
sink
first
in.
4 episodes every time. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go watch How I Met Your Mother for the 12th time.
Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna go
thank
watch
you.
Scrubs for the 12th
Yeah.
time. I'm gonna go watch friggin' Twin Peaks or
Yeah, Twin
Chopped. I'll watch any Food Network show before I watch Game of Thrones, and I just can't, like, I will watch Futurama over and over.
Like-
I will watch How I Met Your Mother over and over. I watch Scrubs, Chuck, whatever. But
Yeah.
Game of Thrones doesn't do it for me. The last HBO show that I truly, truly loved, besides what Silicon Valley is on there, right, on
Is it?
HBO.
I don't know. I think it's
thought
like
it was.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Because I got HBO Go or HBO Now or whatever for Silicon Valley and Game of Thrones, and only watch Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Silicon Valley is fantastic.
Yeah, I heard it's
And
really
then
good.
Flight of the Conchords. Those 2 shows are fantastic. I also like Bored to Death and everything, but Game of Thrones has got such a huge thing, Yeah, and it's so popular, so loved, and everyone's like, it's the best show ever, and I'm like,
yeah, that kind of thing again.
Why is it the best show? And they're like, it's boobs and dragons. And I'm like,
yeah,
I can go play Skyrim or not have dragons.
Yeah,
and boobs are on the onlines for free.
Wait, what's wrong with just boobs?
It's free.
You can Photoshop a dragon in there.
I don't have to pay for HBO to watch boobs and dragons. I can probably figure it out.
If net neutrality happens, then
that was originally on the agenda.
That needs to be a whole podcast in itself.
We could talk about that for too long, I felt.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna cut it. We'll skip news and gaming for this one.
Yeah.
Because gaming, there wasn't much going on. And then the only big news thing that I thought we could talk about would be net neutrality, and I was like, do we want to open that can of worms?
Do we? Yeah, do we? I don't even really see, like, what benefits come from, like people who's like, oh, like, besides, like, companies getting more money.
Unless you're Verizon or
like,
one of the big companies.
Yeah, like, I can see, like, why it would benefit companies, but why it would benefit literally anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't get into that, because, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I feel like I know enough to be like, this sounds like a shitty idea, guys. Let's not do that. Yeah.
You're on it with the buzzer. It's always at the most appropriate time for a buzzer.
Hey, let's all do it together, and you want to know let's call this one? This
is net neutrality in C minor.
Yes.
One of them needs to be a fart noise.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I can do one. Like, ready?
Oh, please don't. Okay, the fart noise. Make sure it comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, I know. It's coming out of my mouth. Okay, I'm not like a fucking.
That's what they all say.
Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's net neutrality in F sharp now.
I would say that's more like the knee-jerk reaction of net neutrality to the world, and just like horrible noises.
Oh, and Brennan. I don't know if you want to grab Chris and Emily's stuff that's here afterwards.
Oh, I need to.
Yeah. I just noticed because I saw the camera right there, but anything big that you guys want to talk about? We're coming up at a good ending point, I feel.
Yeah.
I'm not eating long clippings again. So. Anything coming up? All the movies I've been excited for have already come out pretty much, except maybe Thor Ragnarok and Star Wars. Because I love big blockbusters. I love them so much. As much as I love little independent films, big blockbusters, just they give you something fun to do.
Yeah.
You completely forget that you're a human being when you go see some of these, you know.
Yeah. I'm very excited for most of the stuff that is coming out like at the end of the year, mainly like again, something that starts with a B and ends with Runner.
Yeah. I don't know.
Black Runner? I didn't know they were making a movie for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, man, that sounds like an exploitation film, but whatever.
I'm excited for Star Wars and Thor. I hope it's good.
I hope so.
It looks fun. Mm-hmm. They're going definitely for the Homecoming Guardians feel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works out. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I can't think of any other movies I'm excited for this year.
Oh, by the way, do you want to know who's the director for Thor Ragnarok?
Who?
The guy who directed What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great then.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
What
We Do in the Shadows was pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, we will see.
All year I've been excited for Spider-Man and Baby Driver, and they came out, and I loved them both.
I'm excited.
You see, two of my big ones were Beauty and the Beast and Logan. So
Logan was
spring, I was like,
well, okay. I'm excited for what I already talked about, and new Paul Thomas Anderson film that I don't know the name of yet because they don't have one yet. So whatever.
Well, Brendan, one last tag for the vlogs and all that.
I make vlogs on YouTube, and they're fun sometimes. My channel, easiest way to find me is just Brendan Peterson or Bren Peterson MV. Daily Bugle intern on Instagram and Twitter, and then find me on those. Awesome. Watch my videos.
Yep, check them out. They're great. And
yeah,
go ahead and tag Emily because she's not here in the part of the podcast.
Yeah, Emily. She's on YouTube as Urkely, also on Snapchat as Urkely, also on Instagram as Urkely. And that's ERKILIE. Go watch her vlog. She's a lot more active than I am. She does exercising and food stuff. I just do food stuff, but off camera. but she's got a really fun channel doing like her jiu-jitsu and her vegan meals and everything, and her meals are awesome. So go check her out.
Yeah.
I will on my channel. Like I said, I don't do that stuff, but I will talk about movies and video games and show you cool shots of me driving to and from work.
Cool.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
And that's how it ends.